Stu Baylor, 2 wins in the last 2 rounds. Can he make it 3 here today? Caleb Russell, in his final season as a pro XC1 rider, seeks to close the deal on his 8th GNCC championship. The stage is set for another exciting round of GNCC racing, and that starts now on MAVTV.
Are you ready to go GNCC racing?
Well, hello again, folks, and welcome to round number 11, the Parts Unlimited Mason-Dixon GNCC. I'm Mikey Waynes, and I'll be taking you through today's racing action. And we begin things with our specialized race recap. Round number 10 saw our riders jockeying for position off the start, but it was Ben Kelly with the fantastic start. Going to snag this one away from Andrew DeLong. 530 KTM leading this one, but not for long. The 127 of Jordan Ashburn had something to say about that, followed closely by Caleb Russell. That guy right there looking for his 2nd win on the year, Stu Baylor. And there he is. Caleb Russell on screen there, moves up into the number 1 spot. Saw some great battles there early on. Riders tight there early. And things would change up as Stu Baylor was able to get out in front and really never look back. Little split line decision for these guys right here. Different line choices. Caleb Russell took that inside line. Bit of a gamble line as we saw in round number 10, but paid off for some riders, some not so much. Ben Kelly chose to go around the outside on that one. And whew, how about it? This right here, bad news. If you're a Caleb Russell fan, or Caleb Russell himself, suffered a little bit of a get-off and had an injury that took him out for the rest of the day. We'll have more on that later in this episode. But from there, it was the Stu Baylor show. The 514 AM Pro Yamaha took control of the reins and really never looked back. Ben Kelly saw a great ride out of him, able to stay in that number 2 spot. But again, when it was all said and done, Borough GNCC, it was Stu Baylor coming through the last finish line chicanes here and checking in for a checkered flag. A little celebration on that AM Pro Yamaha, going full send to close things out. So 2 wins in a row for Stu Baylor. We had a chance to catch up with him after the race. First, we're going to look at that top 10. Again, Ben Kelly grabbing the number 2 spot and Grant Baylor rounding out the top 3. Great ride out of him. And how about Johnny Gerard, the 969 out of the XC2 class, finishing in 4th.
We worked hard this off season and then had some hiccups there in the middle part of the year. But I knew what I wanted. I knew coming into this season when Caleb announced retirement, I wasn't going to have that many chances. And luckily he slipped up there that first lap. And very seldomly do you see Caleb miss a line. He's so good at remembering them. And in the pen section, there was something that was arrowed both ways, and it just gave me the advantage that I needed over Caleb there. And and once I got in the lead, I knew I could control it. And the dust, that was a big factor today. Being able to get up front, getting that lead, control the race. I was keeping an eye on my heart rate and making sure that I wasn't pushing too hard, trying to recover place on the track. And it just everything worked great. I don't know what to say. It's awesome.
Stu Baylor make it 3 in a row here today. Row number 1 set to go. The All Balls Hole Shot Award up for grabs as our XC1 Open Pro class jockeying for position and into the hole shot. Who is it gonna be? How about that start? Lane Michael gonna snag it away from the Babbitt's Online Monster Energy Kawasaki rider Strang. Oh, Strang gets out in front now, so Strang looks like he's trying to lead this pack, but how about it? Lane Michael refuses to be denied, gets back up there into that number 1 spot as our riders head into the woods here at the Mason-Dixon. It is the 523 Lane Michael in control of this one. We've seen some great riding out of him this season. That podium finish has eluded him so far. See if he can get the job done here today. There's Caleb Russell going around the outside. These riders still fighting for position as we look to the XC2 250 Pro class. Whole shot award up courtesy of Hot Cams. And how about that? The 282 Ampro Yamaha of Mike Wachowski in control right there. Taking that Yamaha in for the whole shot and in control of this XC2 class as they head into the woods. Mike Wachowski, Craig DeLong, Johnny Gerard, three huge, so many names in the XC2 class, but those three riders right there battling for the championship very well could come down to the last race of the season. Seen some big things out of those guys, and Wachowski seems to be in control of this one early. So we'll see what Johnny Gerard and Craig DeLong have for Mike Wachowski as this race rolls on. Down to the start line we go again for the FMF XC3, those 125s jockeying for position and battling for the whole shot. Jason Liscombe and Jason Rains. And it looks like, ooh, the 707 of Jason Liscombe able to take it, but there's the 222 of Mike DeLosa out in front going 2 for 1 and taking the lead into the woods. How about it, my friends? We are off and rolling. Round number 11, the Mason-Dixon. Can Stu Baylor make it 3 in a row? Can Caleb Russell cap off his 8th championship? GNCC returns after this.
Coverage of the 2020 Grand National Cross Country Series on MAVTV is brought to you in part by Specialized Turbo E-Bikes. It's you, only faster. Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready. And by Yamaha. Revs your heart.
Welcome back to Grand National Cross Country here on MAVTV. Lane Michael still in control out front, the 523 Ampro Yamaha rider. Well, he's had several great starts this season, but only the one podium finish to show for it back in round number 4. Outside of that, he's seen a couple 6th place, a couple 7th. Right now, though, got to say, Lane Michael early in this one looking smooth, and things seem to be clicking for him as Ben Kelly. Things not, oh boy, and how about that? Lane Michael goes down, boy, just as I was singing his praises. But boy, he's got a really good lead right now. So he loses a little bit of time there, but thankfully for Lane Michael, good enough lead that it didn't make a huge difference. We'll see who pops into the number 2 spot. That is the 114 of Josh Strang in second. So Strang able to make up a little bit of time, but boy, how about it? The lead for Lane Michael right now. There's Caleb Russell in the number 3 spot. And Caleb Russell wanted to comment, if you watch the recap of round 10 at the beginning of this episode, you know that Caleb left the race with an injury at the Burr Oak. Caleb actually sustained a PCL and lateral meniscus tear. So Caleb, whose eyes are set on wrapping up championship number 8 today, will have to do so well under 100%. Doesn't need a win today, but certainly needs to finish this race. Lane Michael back on screen and all by himself right now. How about that? Lane Michael trying to get the job done here today and doing a darn good job with it. There is the 114 of Josh Strang. You can see just how dusty these conditions are for the riders today. There's Caleb Russell in that number 3 spot as he comes through as the dust starts clearing. And you can see a little silty right through there. 523 right here. He's going to pop out of the woods in this section. And still nobody behind him right now as he exits the woods. And we turn the camera back, and there he is, the 114 of Josh Strang. Boy, how about that? Caleb Russell now on the charge, starting to track him down in that number 3 spot. Part of the charge is the number 1 of Caleb Russell. Conditions, like I said, pretty dusty here today at the Mason-Dixon. Now keep in mind, a typical GNCC has pit stops that include fuel, fresh set of goggles, rehydration. But look to see some, if not all of these riders here today making air filter changes. So pit strategy going to play a huge role in the success of these riders. Keep in mind, the recap show, it's 30 minutes, but these guys are out here battling for 3 hours at this level. So something to keep your eyes on as we see Thad Duvall on screen right there. And there's our XC1 riders checking through. You can see what a factor that dust is. There's a guy we've not mentioned much today, the 514 Ampro Yamaha of Stu Baylor. Can he make up some time? Remember, he's coming off 2 wins in a row in this one toward the middle of the pack of these XC1 riders. Can Lane Michael twist the throttle, put the Ampro Yamaha center of the box? GNCC continues after this. Well, the Mason-Dixon saw the final round of Specialized Turbo e-mtb GNCC racing, and we crowned some champions. Congratulations to all the 2020 champions. So many big names in the e-mtb racing world. Charlie Mullins, Ashley Hendershot on the women's side of things, and of course, the future of e-mtb racing. Talon Hawk, Mitch Hawkins, Cooper Knuff, some big names out there. Again, on that youth side of things. Excited to see where this sport is going. It continues to grow year and year after we do it, and I believe 2021 will bring us some more great things. And as a checkered flag flew, it was Charlie Mullins snagging the overall win and the championship. Big congratulations to him and all of our riders getting a little love up there on the podium after their wins in each class. And there he is, Charlie Mullins, holding that number 1 plate, courtesy of the AMA and GNCC. The guy is an absolute animal. Back to the racing action we go. We mentioned it earlier in the episode. Watch for these air filter changes, and depending on what bike you ride, that might be a good thing, maybe a bad thing, but one thing is for sure, if you are a GNCC rider and you get into the pits and you've got to come off the machine, those seconds feel like minutes. Those minutes feel like hours, as you know you are losing time on the track, and it creates opportunities for this guy right here, Stu Baylor, on the Ampro Yamaha. Of course, everybody knows about the filter location on the Yamaha. Provides a bit of an advantage in some of these dusty conditions, and certainly that is paying off for Stu Baylor right now. He moves into the number 1 spot. Speaking of Ampro Yamaha, there he is, the 523 of Lane Michael in second. And how about it? Ben Kelly, the 530 KTM, moves into third, at least for the moment. Looked like they were battling for position right there. Stu Baylor looks over the shoulder, says, who's behind me? The answer right now, nobody. Who is in the number 2 spot? We're looking for Lane Michael right here. Man, how about the lead for Stu Baylor? Lane Michael, the 523. He's going to choose the outside line. We'll see. Oh, and it pays off for Ben Kelly to take the gamble. Moves into the number 2 spot just ahead of the 523 of Lane Michael. And here we go. Stu Baylor in control, out in front, kicking the dust up in the woods. Got some lap traffic right here, and there he is, Ben Kelly. We'll see how he courses around him. No problem for the number 530 KTM of Ben Kelly getting around him. But boy, where is Lane Michael? He was on the rear wheel of Ben Kelly, and now there he is, I believe. Yes, that is the 523 Ampro Yamaha of Lane Michael into that number 3 spot, or I should say falls back to the number 3 position. Got his work cut out for him if he's going to catch up with Stu Baylor and Ben Kelly. Baylor back on screen right now, and smooth and methodical through the woods in that number 1 spot, now in control of perhaps winning 3 races in a row. There he is, the 530 of Ben Kelly in the number 2 position. Seen some great rides out of both of these guys this season, and obviously they're in big talks for championship contention moving into 2021. Knowing that Caleb Russell, this is his final season, a guy that we've talked a little bit about today, doesn't need to win this one to wrap up the championship, but certainly needs to finish it. And he's in control of that championship run right now, and there he is. 514 of Stu Baylor in control. He's looking for win number 3 in a row. Hard to believe after the season he's had that he is in control right now toward the end of this one. Can he hang on? Can he make it 3 in a row? GNCC continues after this.
Coverage of the 2020 Grand National Cross Country Series on MAVTV is brought to you in part by Specialized Turbo e-bikes. It's you, only faster. Rocky Mountain ATV MC, get ready. And by Yamaha, revs your heart.
Well, into the pro pits is the 523 Ampro Yamaha. Lane Michael goes down right at the end of Pro Row, and he is not getting up. This is bad news for Lane Michael, as he had such a great start in this one, was well on his way to a podium finish. Hats off to the team, to the Kawasaki team there for jumping in to assist him. Hopefully he's okay, able to get back on the machine and finish this one. Meanwhile, man, the 514, Stu Baylor out in front. Ben Kelly, the number 530 KTM, on the hunt. Woo, Stu Baylor choosing the gamble line that time, if you will. Wants to take no chances. He knows every second counts right now. Last lap, Ben Kelly, he's probably, sure enough, he's going to take that exact same line. Can Kelly catch up to Stu Baylor? Right here on screen, there he is, the 514, and there's the 530 of Ben Kelly. On the move, on the charge, within a second of Stu Baylor. Can he make it happen? They're gonna pop out of the woods right here into the last section of this racetrack, and the race is on. Stu, gotta be clean, methodical. Ooh, a little slow right there. This track has been gnarly, to say the least. Ben Kelly says, I'm not worried about dust anymore. Stu Baylor, he's gonna hang on to this one. Wow, gonna finish probably a couple seconds ahead of him on timing and scoring, but that was a lot closer than that. Congratulations to the 514 Ampro Yamaha of Stu Baylor, 3 in a row. Are you kidding me?
Honestly, today, you know, I really struggled early on the first 3 laps. I was pretty frustrated with everything that was going on, and I was really aggravated on the track, and it was showing. I was making a lot of mistakes, and I knew the KTM boys were going to have to stop with 2 to go, and I could see that everybody was right in that group. I think 6 of us were all within 10, 12 seconds with 2 to go. So I knew I had to make a push, and Thad waved me by over here, and I sprinted to get close to Ben, and I knew Caleb was right there. And when they pitted, it was that was what I needed. And you know, it was, like I said, today wasn't today. I definitely don't think I was the best guy on the track all around. I think I had some spurts of excellence, but you know, I know those guys had to change filters, and I was just trying to play it at the right place at the right time, and not make any mistakes doing so. So you know, if you ask what's clicking right now, I would say strategy. You know, the team, the Yamaha having the filter up here. You know, I knew I didn't have to win. I didn't have to lead like I have the last couple of races. You know, just pace myself and be in the right place, and that's where I was.
As we see Ben Kelly, exhausted, worked his tail off in this one. We got a word with him on the second place finish.
Yeah, congrats to Caleb. You know, learned a lot from him the past few years, so I owe a lot to him for me riding as good as I am right now. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to the future. And yeah, today was tough. Seemed like everything was going wrong. You know, I started my bike too early and then shut it off, trying to do the right thing, but then I ended up with a dead last start, and when I came around that first lap, they stopped me for 15 seconds, which I knew was coming, and kind of got me angry. The XC2 guys were right there, and yeah, I just pushed as best I could. It was tough, you know, you'd catch a guy and kind of have to follow him for a while and try to make a pass, and yeah, a few other things fumbled with that first pit and got passed back by a few guys, but after that we nailed the second one, and I started picking guys off and was able to reel in Stu, but it was like a mile from the finish, and yeah, when I caught him, there was nothing I could do. I tried to pass him, but there weren't many options out there with that dust. Couldn't really get close enough, but yeah, happy with second. You know, this one hurts a little bit compared to the last 2 because I was so close, and I felt like I could have got it done, but you know, hats off to Stu again, and in another 2 weeks we'll try again.
Well, congratulations to Ben Kelly and the rest of our top 10. But wait, there's more. In his farewell season, Caleb Russell snags championship number 8. Congratulations to Caleb on an incredible career. We had a chance to catch up with the champion, the GOAT, after the race.
It's unreal, really. To win one's tough, and to back it up is even harder. So to keep it going and go 8 straight's unreal. I never would have dreamed it was, you know, an actual possibility. There's just too many variables in off-road racing. There's too much to go on. There's too much time out there on the track. There's too many different conditions. I mean, that track was unreal. It was completely brutal. If we would have done 2 filter swaps, there's no way this thing would have finished. It was just pure silt from the drop of the gate, and it was just fighting the dust and fighting those ruts. And man, I banged myself up a couple weeks ago at the last race, and I was a little unsure of how it was going to go, but we took it easy the last couple weeks, and I got to give it up to the whole team. Without Auntie and everybody that supports this factory KTM team, this would never be possible. It's been a real honor to race for this team my entire career, and finish it out and go out on top. It's awesome.
Caleb Russell, the GOAT of off-road racing. Well, we take a look at our race recap now, the Specialized race recap. And it was the 523 Am Pro Yamaha of Lane Michaels snagging the whole shot, battling with the Kawasaki's out front. And boy, what a ride out of Lane Michael today. Led most of this race, not just the beginning. He led a very, very large portion of this race. Great start for the 114 of Josh Strang. And Caleb Russell, they're not 100% coming into today, coming off that injury just a round ago. Knew what he needed to do to go out there and get the job done. Air filters, huge factor in today's race, both for the Kawasaki's as well as the KTM's. Everybody seemed to be having air filter, not issues, just preventative maintenance with the amount of dust as you see on screen. And unfortunately for Lane Michael, went down right there. Boy, nasty looking crash. Was able to get back on the machine and finish in the number 5 spot. But boy, Stu Baylor and Ben Kelly, they had to work their tail off in this one. They were middle of the pack throughout most of the day. When it counted, they got out front, had a little battle, and Stu Baylor, how about it, captures his 3rd win in a row on the Am Pro Yamaha. Big things. A fist bump right there. Folks, get ready to see a lot of this moving into 2021, and there, that man, farewell to a fantastic career. Caleb Russell, 8 national championships at the GNCC. That's going to do it for us here on GNCC on MAVTV. I'm Mikey Waynes. We'll see you at the races.